Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. A lot of you have reached out to me saying that you'd really benefit from some practices that emphasize sort of some inner work, right? To kind of quiet the anxieties we're all facing right now. Because I don't know if it's me, but it seems to be building each day. And there's a lot that we still have to be positive about, a lot we still have to be grateful for. And, sometimes when we are in isolation like this, we can get a little bit too caught up in the head, right? So we have a lot of time to just kind of self-reflect and think. And instead of backing away from that, I want to be able to incorporate some of that in today's practice, but using it in a healthy way. So also happy almost new moon blessings. Tomorrow will be a new moon in Aries, and it's a wonderful time to start manifesting projects, especially with Aries being a fire sign, a sign of action. Now's a good time to start making a plan, right? If we're just feeling a little bit lost or so uncertain as to what the future is going to hold, we can at least make a plan for our own personal immediate future. And maybe that's just for your plan to clean up your basement tomorrow or to shovel some snow because we're getting a snowstorm right now. Anything. It could be little, it could be big. Maybe you've got a big vision for the next week or month and you want to sit down, go ahead, manifest those goals. Maybe you accomplish them, maybe you accomplish half, maybe you don't do any. The idea here is to at least be able to concentrate your thoughts and project them out in a way that is sustainable and useful to you and not just wallowing in anxiety, right? So with that in mind, the theme for the practice today, we're going to be moving and incorporating some moon salutations, Chandra Namaskara, into our practice. A lot of you are probably familiar with sun salutations, Surya Namaskara, which are a crucial element to a vinyasa flow class. And they kind of work similar. Moon salutations, they're still a somewhat standard set of movements, like an almost preset sequence. There's a little bit of variation depending on what class you're taking. But instead of breath-to-breath movement, like the vinyasa, like the sun salutations, you kind of slow everything down a little bit. So there's a little bit of time for reflection within the posture. So like we normally do in a hatha yoga class. So we're going to be moving through a full set of just a traditional moon salutation. And, I'll give some explanation about alignment and posture. And then we're going to go through a second round of that and add a little bit of variation in between there. So it's going to be technically 4 rounds because we do 1 round left side, right side, and the second round with variation left side, right side. So that's our plan for today. I hope that it affords you, 60 minutes or however long this will be, a chance to kind of find this inner connection between your movements, your thoughts, and your intention, right? Because the intention behind our thoughts kind of directs all of our actions. So just being able to wind everything down and sort of tune into yourself, even if it's just for this brief amount of time today, maybe this is something you can come back to in your day tomorrow or throughout the rest of your week. Essential oils today, I have 5 drops of black pepper, 4 drops of juniper berry. We have 3 patchouli, and 1 each of jasmine and wintergreen. So it's just sort of a new moon, very ethereal sort of scent going on in here. And it smells really lovely. So on that note, we'll go ahead and get started. Props we'll be using today, I just have 2 blocks available to me at the top of the mat, but 1 block will be fine for you. No strap today. So let's go ahead and get started. So coming to your mat today, I'm going to have you start in a reclined position. So in Shavasana, lying down flat on the mat. I will join you down there shortly. So gently relaxing yourself down. For me, it's late afternoon right now, so this is a great time to just kind of let all of the events and activities of the day to wash right off of you, right? Allow all of the weight to just kind of sink down into the body, relaxing the spine, the shoulders, the arms, and the legs, and then just sort of dissipate and flow right off, right? It's not always easy to just let everything go all at once. So maybe doing it in increments here. As you start to come down flat on the mat and adjust yourself and find evenness and grounding through the back of the body, take a few little controlled breaths. So not quite building on the deep breath just yet. Maybe just a few. Just to sort of tune you in and to start releasing. Sometimes when we just do those mini controlled breaths, we're able to unclench and release tension in places we might not have been aware that we were holding it. So finding stillness and allowing the eyes to soften or close. You can start to relax the breath again, connecting once more with your natural pace. And throughout the practice today, I'm going to ask you to tune into sensation within the body. So take a moment now and just regard where you might be feeling the most sensation. There is no right or wrong answer for this. It could be somewhere you're feeling tense, maybe the neck or the shoulders. Somewhere you might be feeling a little sore in the arms or legs. Or maybe it's within the mind itself. Just such a conglomeration of thoughts and worries and plans. So wherever that sensation is arising for you, take a few rounds of breath. And then perhaps visualizing that sensation as a sort of a mass of maybe just energy. And as you release on those little exhales, imagine that energy is just starting to dissipate and release. Allowing it to travel to other areas of the body that might need that energy more. Now you can slowly start to build upon the breath, expanding through your inhales and extending long on the exhale. And we're going to continue in this deep breathing for 5 more rounds before finding that natural rhythm again. And slowly beginning to connect with that natural breath again. Observing any changes you may feel within the body. We'll begin incorporating some slow movement. You can begin to wiggle out toes, fingers, and then start to point and flex your feet. You can begin to roll the ankles around, Roll the wrists around. Energy is beginning to travel up the limbs, the arms, and the legs. On an inhale, reach and extend your arms up overhead. Point your toes to the bottom of the mat. And then exhale, softening. I'm going to join you down on my mat now. So arms are still reaching up. Take another breath in, extend nice and long. Exhale, we're going to walk hands and feet over to the right side, finding this little banana shape so that the left side body is nice and long and extending. Relax the shoulder blades down, relax the head, and maybe we cross that left ankle on top of the right, just for a little bit of extra stretch down through the waist and the top of the hip here. So it's a passive and active stretch all at once. We don't want to be straining through the limbs, but you do want the legs to stay active through pointing the toes, and we still want the energy coming up and out through the fingers. So breathing here, create that space all up the right side. And then with that right hand up on top, just inch those right fingertips a little more than the left, so that we're sure that the right side body isn't just compressing in on itself, but we're still finding length through the right side as well as the left. Your next inhale will walk back through center, extending nice and long. Exhale, hands and feet walk to the left this time, finding that banana shape. Relax the shoulders, the head. Maybe the right ankle crosses on top of the left. And then maybe those left fingertips reach up just a little bit more so that we still stay extended a bit on this left side body, even though we're flexing into this side. Inhale, walking back through center. Exhale, knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the legs. Give yourself a squeeze. And rock from side to side, massaging out through the back. And just starting to wake up the spine a little bit here. Finding stillness, let the arms come open to the side. We'll take a breath in. And as we exhale, the knees will lower to the left for our spinal twist. Right shoulder stays glued to the ground. If your legs do not comfortably reach the floor, we can wedge a block underneath the legs or perhaps between the legs, so that way the legs can just let go, release, and relax. We really want to release control of the low body here. If it feels okay for your neck, picking up the head and maybe looking out over those right fingertips. Inhale, drawing the knees through center. Exhale to the right side. Allow yourself to ground down, soften, and release. Maybe the head looks to the left. And as we take some extra breaths in some of these postures today, I invite you just to release some of these thoughts from your mind and really go into just sensation, what you're feeling within the body. Release the anxieties, the worries, the troubles, and just focus on what you feel right in this present moment, even if some of that is lingering in the background. At least just try taking the mind away for a brief moment. Inhale, knees back through center. And planting the feet on the mat, keep the knees bent. We'll set up for a bridge. Hands reaching down toward the heels. Walk the shoulders down. Back of the neck is long. Exhale, flatten the low back to the floor. Inhale, press into the feet to lift the hips, peeling the spine up off the mat. Rolling up onto the shoulders. Maybe the head slides toward the top of the mat a little bit. So we're finding a big lift here through the upper body. Gaze stays straight up to the ceiling. And active legs, keep them squeezing in toward the center. And breathe. One more breath in. Using the full exhale to release the spine back down, nice and slow. Once the tailbone is down, soften everything. Take a breath. And then we're going to cross the outside left ankle on top of the right knee. It's coming into this figure 4 position here. My left foot is flexed. I'm going to gently press my left leg open to the side, bringing opening into the hip. We're going to take a little low body twist from this position. Arms can relax to the side. And I'm going to be leading this movement with my right foot. So I'm going to take a breath in. Exhale, I'm going to roll to the inside of my right foot onto the big toe side, bringing my left knee closer to the mat. It does not have to reach. Inhale, flattening my right foot to the mat, legs coming back to center. Exhale, roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot, bringing the left foot closer to the floor. So it's just a slow movement. You'll see my upper body stays evenly grounded down. And the movement is really just coming from that right foot. Rolling from side to side. Left foot stays flexed. And as much as you can, keep this left hip open, this left knee open to the side. So not trying to bring the knee in toward the chest. That would start to close off the legs. One more time with the foot down. And we'll come back through center. Right foot is flat to the mat. Taking both hands around the right thigh. I'm going to pick up the legs and start to draw them into the chest. Both feet are flexed. Still keeping the space through the left hip. I'm going to bring my right calf somewhat parallel to the floor. And then relax the shoulders. Relax the face. I invite you to close your eyes or soften them if that's okay. And just connect with your breath here. Connect with the sensation. Obviously, we're feeling some space open up into this left hip here, so we can really visualize and direct the breath down there to create some more room. But also thinking about this nice stretch we're getting across the low back, the sacrum area. As it presses down flat into the floor, we can feel the whole length of the spine in the floor right now as well. And as you breathe, the knees might be able to come in a little closer to the chest. Releasing yourself to the breath. Really thinking about what you're feeling within the body, where you can start to soften, where space is opening up. One more inhale. Exhale, right foot to the mat, followed by the left. Bring the knees together and heel toe the feet out to the long edges of the mat. And just take a breath here. You can bring the feet back to neutral. This time we'll cross the outer right ankle to the top of the left knee. Right foot is flexed, and I'm gently pressing the leg open to the side. Hands can release down, and I'm going to begin this movement from the left foot. So take a breath in. Exhale, roll to the big toe side of that left foot, bringing the right knee down. Inhale, center. Exhale to that pinky toe side of the left foot, bringing the right foot down. Again, it does not have to reach the floor. If it does, cool, but it's not the goal here. Just these slow back and forth movements, targeting the low spine, gentle. Last time with the knee down. We'll bring the foot down. Meeting back in center. Hands around that left thigh, picking up the legs, drawing them into the chest. Both feet flexed, left calf parallel to the floor or just about. Then relax the shoulders, relax the upper body. Close or soften the eyes if you can. Finding the connection to the breath. And where do you see the breath traveling? Where do you visualize that inhale making its way in through the nose or mouth? And then where does it travel from there? And where is the exhale originating from? Where do you feel the release? Thinking about the sensation in that right hip. Either from space opening up, or maybe you're still holding, clenching, or tensing. See if you can relax. 2 more breaths here. Breathing in. Exhale, left foot down. Followed by the right. Bring the knees together, feet out to the long edges of the mat. You can scoot the feet forward a little bit so you can allow the low back to soften. A couple of breaths here. We're slowly going to begin to roll to one side, doesn't matter which. And with an inhale, push yourself up to a seated position. Whether you want to be up on the knees or one leg crossed in front of the other, that is up to you. I'm going to take my left hand to the mat, and on an inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale over to the side for our side bend. We're pressing away with that left hand and actively reaching through the right, long through the side body. Maybe we turn to look up at that right elbow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. I'm just going to give myself a little more space here. So as we start to come down, bringing the hands down first to the floor, and then allowing yourself the spine to round down. We're going to hang the shoulders, hang the head. And as we fold here, you might find yourself getting deeper into the fold as you breathe. But really thinking about the sensation that's coming down into the low body as we bring all that weight forward and down. So maybe we're visualizing that deep breath working its way now into the hips, into the legs, and filling up the back of the body, the back of the lungs, the back of the ribs. Inhale, come to a half lift on fingertips, look forward. Feel the belly turn on. Next breath in, reaching the hands all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart, release. If you're in a cross-legged position, reverse the cross of the feet if it feels all right. We'll take our right hand to the mat. Inhale, left reaches up. Exhale, over to the side. We're pressing away and active through that left hand. Find the breath again. Maybe we look up to that left elbow. Inhale, both hands reach up, look up. Exhale to fold, hands come down first. And allow yourself to round down over the legs, head, neck, shoulders, release forward. And again, breathing into the back of the body and directing that breath down into the legs, into the hips. Little half lift coming onto fingertips. Look forward, strong belly. Next inhale, reaching all the way up. Look up. Exhale and release. Beautiful. Just extend the legs out in front. And we haven't really stretched the hamstrings too much, so we're going to do just a couple little folds here. We're going to start with a soft bend to the knees. But wiggle the legs out a time or two. And then flex into the feet. Arms release out to the side. Inhale, reaching, looking up. Exhale, extend yourself forward. Think nose to toes and soften, round down. I still have the soft bend to my knees. Hanging down over the legs. Hands can rest to the floor. If it's in your practice, maybe the ankles or the feet. I'm going to just create some slow movement by pedaling the backs of my knees up and down on the mat, starting to create some space, some movement up through the backs of the legs. I'm still in the fold, upper body's relaxing. And then bringing the knees to stillness, I'm going to flex the feet a few times, slightly point and flex to bring the stretch up through the back of the calf. And then finding stillness, hands framing the legs, upper body hangs. As we inhale, drag the hands back by the hips, rounding the spine up. Shoulders will come up to the ears. Exhale, slide them down the back. We're going to move through that little movement here a few times. Arms out to the side, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, extend and round down. One full breath here. In and release. Hands to the mat. Inhale, round the spine up. Shoulders to the ears. Shoulders down. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, extend and fold. Full breath. Rounding up, inhale. Exhale, shoulders down. One more time, reaching up. Extend and fold, exhale. Full breath in and out. Rounding up. Shoulders down. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So coming onto the hands and the knees. And just before we begin to move here, making sure your block or blocks are available at the top of the mat in case we need them as we start to flow. So hands and knees, fingertips spread wide. We can't forget the wrists here. So a few quick circles up and around the wrists. A lot of you may know this, but I stretch my wrists out every single day. I've probably said this in these videos once already. And it's just a little handy thing we can do just to give us a little bit more strength through the hands, through the forearms, and even the fingers. A few times in both directions, then we'll come to the top of the left hand, gently circle around. And then shaking it out before we move to the top of the right. And gently shake out that right hand. Back in table, we're going to move through 5 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, extend extending, heart pulls through, looking up. Exhale, navel pulls up and in, rounding the spine. 4 more times. Last round. And exhale. Inhale to table, tuck the toes. Walk the hands a step or 2 in front. Take another breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Knees bent to start as the belly presses toward the thighs, head releasing between the arms. Then pedal out the feet. Lift and lower the heels. We won't be spending too much time in down dog today, so we will give it just an extra moment here. Shaking out the head, yes or no. And then finding stillness. Think about the length of your tailbone reaching up to the sky and the crown of the head extending down toward the floor. Your next inhale, look forward to the hands. Exhale, walking to the top of the mat to fold down over the feet. Bend into the knees here, let the upper body go, grab opposite elbows. And you can sway from side to side. Finding stillness, release the arms. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, folding down. Bend into the knees. We're going to roll up to stand. Upper body hangs as we start to straighten the legs. Rounding the spine up. Arms coming out to the side and reaching up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to be moving through our first round of moon salutation. And like I said, this first round, left and right side, I'll kind of explain a little bit more about alignment. In the second round, I'll explain a little bit more about some modifications or some poses we can go a little bit further into. So find mountain pose at the top of the mat. Lift and spread the toes. Long spine, evening out the pelvis. Shoulders relaxing down. Hands facing forward or in toward the body. Active in our mountain pose here. Feel the strength as you root down through the feet. On an inhale, we'll extend the arms up overhead and bring the hands together in a prayer position. Relax the shoulders. Take a breath in, extend nice and long, and as we exhale, we're going to side bend to the right. So reaching and extending the hands over to the right side, and you can cross the thumbs here. I'm slightly jutting my left hip out, not very far, just a little bit, and I'm still long in that right side body, even though we're flexing into that right side. Breathing. Tailbone is long toward the floor. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, side bend to the left side. Right hip slightly pressing out. Chin lifted from the chest. Breathing. Next inhale, straight up to stand. Feel the chest puff up, squeeze the glutes, exhale, little back bend, lifting the chest as we peel the arms back. Glutes slightly engaged to keep that low back safe. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, hands to the heart. As the hands come in, I'm going to take a big step to the left side of the mat. So fairly wide apart between the legs, toes out to those long corners, heels to the inside. Inhale, arms reaching up, 5-pointed star. Press the feet down. Exhale, squatting down to goddess, bending into the knees and elbows. Make sure your weight stays in the heels, right? We talked about this the other class. Find the breath here. Turn on the pelvic basin to help keep you lifted and supported, long through the spine. It's not about how far down we go here. We want engagement of the full body and room for the breath. Think about the sensation. Think about the strength where you need it and the softening in other places that don't need to be as strong, such as the tongue. Inhale, up to stand, stretching out. Exhale, bring the arms out to the side. Left foot is going to turn in parallel to the short side. Right toes turn to the front of the mat, setting up for triangle. Inhale, reach that right hand forward. Exhale, hinging down at the waist. We can take a block to the inside of the ankle, hand to the calf or the mat if it's within your practice. If those shoulders are not stacking, if you feel the left shoulder drifting down, bring the hand to the hip, roll the shoulder back, and maybe then we can lift that arm. Finding the breath here. Low belly is tucking in. Legs are very strong, or we can have a soft bend to that front knee. One more inhale. Exhale, look down to that right foot. Bring the left hand down, and we're going to frame that right foot, turning the left toes forward, and then grounding the knee into the low lunge. Finding some balance here. We can take blocks under the hands if need be. Strong legs, keep them squeezing in toward the center as we inhale, arms reaching up overhead. Exhale, soften the shoulders. Press those hip bones slightly forward as we inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, arms peel back. Finding that little back bend again. It's more of a lift from the chest here. Glutes slightly engage. Find the breath. Inhale, reach straight up. Exhale, hands all the way down to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes. Inhale, lift the knee. We're going to turn both sets of toes out to that long left corner of the mat, finding a side lunge into the right knee. Left leg extended. We can have toes down. You can have the left toes lifted. Hands can come right in between the feet here toward the right side. Strong in that pelvic girdle. If it's within your practice, maybe the hands come into the heart. Maybe we bring the right hand down, finding a little twist through that left hand. Couple of variations here. We'll all meet with our hands down and inhale, walking the hands through center, straightening both legs. Exhale to the left side. Right leg extends. Turn that pelvic basin on. Maybe the hands come into the heart, side lunge to the left. Everybody bringing hands down to the mat. And we'll start to turn toward the back of the mat now. We're going to be making a full 360. Runner's lunge, left foot forward, right foot back. Ground that right knee, low lunge. Strong through the legs, squeeze into the center. Inhale, arms reach up nice and slow. Exhale, shoulders relax. Hip bones press forward. Breathe in, lift the chest. Exhale, arms peel back. Little back bend here. You don't have to go too far. We want to be able to breathe and go inside. Think about the sensation. Think about the strength of your body. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands all the way down, frame the left foot. Inhale, tuck the right toes, lift the knee, runner's lunge. We're going to set up for triangle. So right foot seals parallel to the short side of the mat. Left hand to the inside of the left foot. And we're going to slowly bring that right hand to the right hip, straightening the left leg as we do so, right into triangle. As the left leg straightens, maybe we bring the left hand up to the calf. That feels a little bit better. Maybe we can have some time to roll that right shoulder down and back and then lift the arm toward the ceiling. Legs are very strong. Belly slightly tucking in. Breathing. Breathing in. Exhale, look down at the left foot. Soft bend to that left knee. Inhale, strong belly as we lift the torso. Both arms come up. Toes turning out to those long corners of the mat. 5-pointed star. Take a breath in. Exhale to squat. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Strong legs. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Turn both toes back to the right side of the mat. So back toward the top where we started. Breathe in. Arms come up. Exhale, step forward to mountain. Inhale. Exhale, bending back, lift. Inhale, reach straight up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, reach straight up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hands to the heart. 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And release. So I've decided to just change up a little bit here because we are running out of time. I try to keep these classes within an hour range. Normally I would have brought us back to the opposite side of the mat to do the same thing on the left, leading back into the right. But we're going to just segue that into the next sequence where we're going to be building upon some modifications here. But we are going to be starting on the opposite side of the mat with our left foot forward and right foot back when we start to come into position. So if you'd like to switch sides, you can do so. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, shoulders relax. Inhale, find extension. Exhale, side bend to the left. Right hip popping out just a little bit, breathing. Inhale, straight up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, up, reaching. Exhale, back bend, lifting the chest to peel the arms back. Glutes slightly engaged, hip bones pressing forward. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, hands to the heart, taking a big step open to the right this time if you switch sides. So nice and long between the legs, toes to the outer corners. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale to squat, weight in the heels, making sure those knees are not coming forward or past the ankles. We don't have to squat too deeply here. Breathing, engage the pelvic floor. Inhale to stand. Exhale, arms out to the side, right foot comes in parallel to the short side of the mat. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, hinging down for triangle, hand to the floor, calf or block. Right hand to the ceiling or hand to the hip if you need to work on rolling those shoulders back. Low belly tucking in. For those of you that want an extra challenge, really power up those legs, really strong. Lifting that right hand, bringing it behind the low back. Right hand comes down. We're going to bring the hands in prayer, reaching to the side, not extending or straining through the arms, but just a gentle reach toward the back of the mat, toward that right foot. Crown of the head, reaching toward the front foot, chin lifted from the chest, and breathing. Take another breath in. Soft bend to that left knee. Exhale, we're going to start to bring ourselves down to that runner's lunge. Frame the left foot. And ground the right knee for the low lunge. We're going to heel toe our left foot out to the edge of the mat and bring both hands to the inside of that left foot. Ground yourself down through the right hand. And on an inhale, we're going to reach that left hand up to the ceiling. If this is a little too much for your arms, bring the left hand to the left hip or the left knee, looking to the side. For those of you that want to go a little bit deeper, we're going to start to circle out this left arm. Inhale, extend here. Exhale, start reaching it toward the back of the mat. All the way down, sweeping motion here. Forward, inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, back, down. Inhale, forward and up, gently, slowly circling it out. Just like the cycle of the moon. Trying not to sink into that right shoulder. And then we're either going to come up, lift, keeping that left hand in the air. We can also bring it back down to the knee. For those of you that want a little extra challenge, bending the right knee, and we can reach that right hand back, left hand back for the right foot. Lifting the chest toward the ceiling and pressing the foot toward the back of the mat. We still have it firmly in the hand, but as though we're trying to create some space between the bum and the heel. Breathing in. Exhale, slowly release. We'll all bring our hands forward. Both hands again to the inside of that left foot. Shake the right hand out. Keeping the left heel on the mat, we're going to turn the toes slightly off. So setting up for a lizard variation. For those of you that want a deeper stretch in the hips, we can roll to that baby toe side of the left foot, opening the knee to the side. If we do this, we want to make sure the weight is even between the legs. You can still keep the foot flat on the mat if that's too much for you. So whatever position you'd like to be in, I'm going to have my knee open. Hands walk just a little bit in front, keeping a nice long spine, belly tucking in. I'm just going to take a little dip to my elbows. And lengthen back up. Breathe in. Exhale, little dip to the elbows. Coming back up. Slow movements, little dip to the elbows. Creating a little more space in that left hip, coming back up. And then once more, a little dip to the elbows. Maybe it's a very soft bend this time. Maybe I've opened up enough room to come down onto forearms, nice and slow. Or maybe we're somewhere halfway. Some of you might want to take the block under the forearms. Put a soft bend to the elbow is good as well. Breath in and out. Inhale, straighten the arms. Heel toe the foot back in between the hands. Tucking the right toes. Inhale, lift the knee. And exhale, turning side lunge on the left side. Hands over toward that left foot, right leg extends. Again, maybe hands coming into the heart, maybe down toward the floor. Inhale, walking through center, straighten both legs. Exhale, side lunge on the right, left leg is extending. Hands can come into the heart if that's okay, down to the mat, breathe in. Exhale, slowly turn to that runner's lunge, framing the right foot. Ground the left knee, low lunge. And heel toe the right foot out to the long edge of the mat. Hands to the inside, shift your weight to the left hand. On an inhale, right hand comes up, all the way up to the ceiling. Maybe hand to the hip or hand to the right knee. So finding a little twist, looking to the right side. Not sinking into this left shoulder, staying strong through the arm. And finding the breath again. And beginning our little moon cycle circles here. So slowly extending that right arm out. And this is optional. Exhale as it comes down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Slow movements. And this time, we can bring the hand up. Maybe again it rests to the knee or the hip. For those of you that want to go deeper, we can bend that left knee, reach the right hand back for the foot or the ankle. And as we grab hold here, I'm going to again create some space between my bum and the heel by pressing the foot back into the hand and opening the heart toward the ceiling. Breathing. Breath in. Exhale, we'll all release, bringing the hands forward to the inside of the right foot. Right heel stays on the mat, and I'm going to turn my right toes slightly off. Setting up for this lizard variation. I'm going to go deeper into the hips, so I'm going to roll onto the baby toe side of my right foot, opening the knee to the side, and then adjust the position of my arm so that the weight is equal between the legs. Hands walk a step or two in front. Straight spine, flat back. Take a breath in. Exhale, soft bend to the elbows. Inhale up and bend. And up and dip down. And up. This time as we dip down, maybe just a little soft bend, maybe even the arms stay straight. Some of you might want to come down to forearms or forearms on the block. Notice where you can release clenching. Notice what needs to be strong, the belly pulling up and in, chin lifted from the chest, not sinking into the shoulders. But maybe we start to release and unclench through the hips. Next inhale, coming back up nice and slow. Heel toe the right foot back between the hands. Tuck the left toes. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, left foot ceiling to that short side of the mat. Hands to the inner right foot as we slowly straighten the right leg. Maybe we bring left hand to the hip to start. Hand can be at block, floor, or shin as we come up to triangle. Left hand can lift if those shoulders are stacking. Hand to the hip if that shoulder is rounding forward. For those of you that want to go a little bit farther in this pose, strong quads, really strong through the legs. I'm going to bring my left hand behind, Really strong through the core as I bring that right hand up and behind, hands in prayer. I'm not really straining here, but I am finding a bit of extension through the arms and through the crown of the head. My legs are super strong, feet pressing down, core engaged, tailbone is long. There's room for the breath within the neck. Chin is not tucking into the chest. Breathing. Getting ready to come up, soft bend to that front knee. Inhale, bring the torso up. Both toes out to the long edges of the mat. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale to squat. This time, as we bend into the knees, we'll bring the hands to the hips. And using the hands here to just guide the pelvis down, lengthen the tail down, and just resting the hands in the crease of the thighs here. Weight is in the heels. Breathing. Engage the pelvic floor. Find that little extra lift here. Maybe squatting a little deeper if it's okay. Inhale up to stand. Extend the legs and arms. Exhale, we'll bring the hands into the heart. Turn the feet toward the top of the mat. Actually, sorry, the back of the mat. That's where we started, left side. And stepping forward to mountain. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, little back bend, lifting the chest, arms peel back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the right, extension. Breathing. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, fold all the way down over the feet. Release. Plant the hands, take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Take 3 full breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, ground the knees to table. Inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. 2 more times. Last round. Inhale to table. Feet crossed behind. Bring the bum down and the feet forward. We're going to get ready to wind down here. If you want to have a blanket available for Shavasana or any sort of cushion or bolster, now I invite you to bring that close by. And we'll meet in our half boat position. Knees bent, feet planted. Tall spine, shoulders down back. Bring the arms to frame the legs. Take a breath in. Exhale. Start to pull the belly way down. We're lengthening the spine back nice and slow, using control and several breaths as we come down. Gently relax the head, the arms and the legs. Take a big breath into the belly. Let it out with a sigh. We'll do that again. Allowing the spine to neutralize to the mat. Slowly tuck the knees up into the chest. And give yourself a little squeeze, rock from side to side. From here, we can find a happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of the ankles, the calves, or the feet. Ankles stack over the knees and legs open wide around the ribs. We can rock a little bit here as well. Finding stillness, soles of the feet coming together. Lower the legs down to the mat. Supporting the legs in the hands, or resting the hands on the inner thighs. Take a breath or two. Inhale, bring the knees together. Let the arms fall open to the side. We're going to scoot our bum to the right, extending the left leg. Right foot to the top of the left knee. We'll inhale here. Exhale for the twist. Your knee does not have to reach the floor. Right shoulder stays grounding down. And then soften and release control over the leg. Look to the right hand if that's okay with the neck. And begin to deepen and slow down your breath. Inhale, moving through center. We'll scoot our bum to the left side. Extend the right leg. Left foot to the right knee. Breathe in. Exhale for the twist. Left shoulder staying grounded. And then soften the legs. Let gravity take over. Look to the left hand. Inhale to center. Even out the hips. Taking a moment now for any little last minute adjustments, stretches, or movements that you need before Shavasana. And whenever you're ready, I invite you to come reclining back on the mat. Shavasana, shoulder blades tucking under, palms face the ceiling. Spine relaxing down. And the eyes can soften or begin to close. Really allowing your body to surrender into the mat. Connecting again with your natural rhythm of breath. Noticing how it feels within the body, where you feel it within the body. As we start to wind things down here, we're going to take 3 more rounds of controlled breath. This time we're going to take that big expansive inhale through the nose and release with a lot of control, a lot of length through the mouth. Beginning, inhaling. Last round. And let that last exhale release your control of the breath. Surrender yourself to the body, letting all of the energy and sensation just be absorbed and supported by the mat. If the thoughts begin to drift, gently pull them back to the present moment. And I invite you to challenge yourself how much you can release into this final posture of the practice. How much control can you let go of and still feel at ease? Finding peace in the moment of stillness and softness. Allow the breath to deepen again, inviting awareness back into the body, wiggling out the toes and the fingers, rocking the head gently from side to side. Today, I invite you to roll to one side. It doesn't matter which. So coming to lie on your side, you can rest your head on your arm and find this little fetal position, tucking the knees in toward the chest. And just breathing here with the comfort of yourself, with the presence of your body and your breath. Feeling of satisfaction from having moved, from having used intention through our thoughts and our actions, and allowing ourselves a brief moment in the day where we can connect all of it, our breath, our intention, and our movement. Know that you are supported. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly make your way up to a seated position with the eyes soft or closed. We'll bring the hands into the heart, And if you care to join me, we'll end our practice with a round of Om. Taking a big breath in. Exhale all the stale air. One big inhale. I thank you so much for joining me here today, and I look forward to our next class. Any suggestions or anything that I can help to serve you within your practice, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Namaste.